Hey there, guys. Welcome back. So, this is the video after the material video. I have no specific order of how I'm going to do these videos. This is just how it is. If you're looking for something, go ahead and use the search bar on my profile, and that's the easiest way to find things. Um, So I love the materials. The problem with materials, though, is that it creates a mess, right? So after making materials, like let's duplicate these, right? Oh my God, there's so many materials. Duplicate them again, and do it another time. Okay, so now we have a bunch of different materials, right? It's getting a little chaotic. And let's do the same for textures, and we'll just go ahead and duplicate some textures here. All right, so now we have a bunch of textures, and we have a bunch of models. So how do we keep things organized, right? Because now searching through this in my content folder, in order to find anything, I have to make it real big and scroll through and be like, oh yeah, that's the material I need or want, right? So firstly, it's a good naming convention. Naming is important. So you have things like BP for blueprints, MI for material instancing. You have M or MAT for material. You have, there's a lot of them. You've animation blueprints, anim BP, right? So you see how I started naming mine M underscore master, MI underscore book, and like I didn't do it for the textures because the textures are straight from Substance Painter. But normally I'll do it with textures too, is I'll put at the beginning txt, right, for texture. And so when I'm looking for something, if I don't know the exact name of something, I can go m underscore. And now anything with m underscore comes up. Mi underscore. Now all my materials come up. Txt underscore. Now my textures come up, right? That's a good practice to get into. The next practice to get into is putting things in folders. So in order to make a folder, and that's what this video is about, is you're gonna right click in the content browser and press new folder, right? To create a new folder. We're going to call this folder materials. Also, you can go to the add button here and add new folder. It's literally the same window. And we'll call this one textures. Or you can use this little content drawer here and right click on content or wherever you want to put the folder and also do new folder. And in that new folder, when you create it like this, it actually opens the folder for you. And so this folder we will call meshes, right? And I think that pretty much covers everything that we have here to organize. So materials, right? We want all of our materials. So grab all those and then put them in our materials folder and move here. Now all of our meshes we want to put into our mesh folder, right? And all of our textures we want to put into our texture folder. Now an even better, and now like that cleans up our content drawer, and right, and we can have another folder for maps and another folder for sounds and etc., right? Blueprints. We can have a blueprint folder. Now these are great and all, but these folders get so much better. And this is stuff that people don't really know about too often because I don't see it a lot in a lot of projects that I help work on. I offer free help. I'm not an expert on any one given topic about Maya, about Substance Painter, about Unreal Engine, about ZBrush, about any of that stuff. I have a general understanding of this stuff. That being said, um, these folders get so much better. These are kind of hard to look at, right? But if I right click on my folder, so I want my material folder, I could do set color. And now from this ugly brown looking color, I can make my material color or my material folder uh, orange, right? Man, that stands out so much better. So now my blueprints folder, because that's another important folder, I can do the same thing and I can select the orange or I can do a new color. And blueprints should be blue to me. And there actually is a color scheme to these. Let me try to find it. Common filters. There we go. So common filters. So blueprint is actually blue. C++ is white. Orange is level. Green is material. Red is Niagara. Pink is skeletal mesh. Teal is static mesh. And red being textures. So if we wanted, we could go based off of that. Um, so blueprints are blue, right? We know that. Materials are green. So let's make this folder green, right? Because that makes more sense. Um, maps, I said were orange, right? We can double check that, right? By saving our map. Map. Why is this map so large? Okay, so our map should be saving here, I believe. I'm not sure exactly what it's doing. Oh yeah, it's just reloading because it's a whatever. So orange is maps. So we should set our color to orange. There we go. And then I said meshes were teal. Let's go ahead and get a nice teal color. Sounds, I don't remember. Uh, sounds are a variety of color, but I think purple is like the most common for sound waves. Yep. So let's just use purple. And then textures are red, and you can see the little line underneath of them, and that determines the variety. So we could set the color to red. Or pink. Pink works. That's not red really, but so now this is great because now we have color containers that we can use to quickly identify what is in those folders, right? And so once you get in the habit of knowing these colors, so blue, orange, green, teal, whatever, the ones that I really only know, to be honest with you, are the blue ones and the teal one because that's meshes and blueprints. Those are the two things that I use the most of, right? I know materials are green too, but like materials and blue or meshes and blueprints are the thing that I use the most. I'm a 3D artist, so I create meshes a lot, and I have dabbled in blueprints a lot, and so blueprints being one of those. So this is nice to keep your stuff organized. And there's something else I want to talk about too, the meshes. Right? If I open my meshes folder, eventually I'm going to have 1,000 different meshes in here. That's not ideal. So inside this meshes folder, I want to make a tire folder, right? And I want to take my tire and move it in there. I want to create a, let's just pretend this is a box, right? So I want to have a box folder to put my box in. And I can even have uncat, right? Which is uncategorized items. Because if I'm too lazy, I just dump everything in my junk bin. That cleans up my meshes folder even more. And so instead of having 1,000 meshes in here, then you can have folders with those things in there. And so tire, I could generally, if I wanted to, the tire to, if I wanted to get rid of these folders out here, even, I could I could really go in depth with it and create in here textures and materials for this tire. That way, anytime I'm looking for my tire content, it's right here. But with Unreal Engine 5 and the way they reworked the filter system, it's very easy to find stuff. If you want blueprints, you can classify blueprints. If you want sounds, classify sounds. If you want materials, you classify materials. And as long as you're in your base content folder and you click these, it'll bring up all materials of that type. So that's pretty easy to find stuff now. You can even search things. So if you want tire, you just, oops, if I could spell, you can just search tire and everything related to tires comes up. As long as you're following a decent naming convention, you can combo your search box with your folder hierarchy to find things that you need. So say I had a map named tire and I have meshes named tire and I have materials named tire and I only want to find one thing, I need to open my folder, the corresponding folder and type what I'm looking for and it brings up that item. Very cool. And you can even underneath these colorized folders, you can even colorize these folders. So if I wanted to have a color specific to boxes, I could do that, right? If I wanted to have a color specific to tires, I can do that, right? I can make a color just for tires, boxes, uncategorized. Like uncategorized, in my opinion, uncategorized should be black, right? Because we never should need that folder unless we have to find something drastic in here. This is our junk folder. We're gonna throw junk in there. So this is a quick video. I guess it's not really quick, I guess, but it's just a video here explaining how the organizing your project, right? When you open up a project, if you share a project with a friend and they open it up and they see a spider web of objects, it's very hard for people to look at that. So say you hired a programmer, right? The programmer comes to your project and he's got to search around for whatever he's looking for. Setting it up universally like this, then people can easily click through these folders and these icons and find the things they need quickly. And when you find things quickly, your workflow increases. And when your workflow increases, your project gets done faster. Organization is the biggest key to keeping a project on task. Okay. It's very easy for an Unreal Engine project to get out of hand very quickly. I could show you some of my examples. I have spiderwebbed mess of a projects all over the place. I have nested folders and folders and folders. Some folders I named, FGHDST or whatever. I didn't name them properly because I was irresponsible with it. And the more I learned Unreal Engine, the more I've learned things like this in the past that have helped me with a better workflow so I could create better projects. So I hope this video helps you guys. I hope it's something that you can look to and maybe learn something new. Thanks, guys.